It is lunchtime on day 4 of the Manchester Test, but as they say in Hindi, I think, would you say, gale se nahi utrega? I don't think they'll be able to, the Indian team I'm talking about, be able to digest, enjoy, or consume their lunch after what has happened in the first 2 hours of day 4. It's not that day 3 was outstanding. The pain had started from day 2 onwards. Day 3, the pain only grew stronger and stronger. And what has happened in the first session of day 4 is the stage where you become immune to the pain. The pain is so much that it reaches peak level, and now you're immune to the pain. That's where the Indian team find themselves. It's a lead of 311 that England had managed. First inning lead of 311, obviously gunning for an innings defeat, and India have had possibly the worst start that they could have had, losing 2 wickets for not on the board. By the time they've gone on lunch, they have somehow managed to get 1 run on the board with 2 wickets down. So the question now is to Siddharth, who joins me. Will the tea time show be the tea time show, or will it be the post-match show?
I really hope it's the post-match show, because I have to take care of other things also.
So then you would not want it to be post-match. Now you want it to get extended.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want it to basically go until 10 or 11 p.m. IST.
That's what I'm
saying.
No, but my question you didn't hear. When we come next, will it be a tea time show, or will it be a post-match show?
It's going to be a tea time show.
But no, you're saying because you want it like that, or do you genuinely believe it will be?
No, I genuinely believe it's going to be a tea time show. But
so we will have a tea time show.
Yeah, absolutely, we will. And
that's some good news for you guys.
Yeah, I trust in this batting at least to an extent.
After this,
at least a bit. After what has happened.
You trust for them to take you to tea. At
least there's going to be some fight that will be shown. But one thing that I'll go back to what we discussed yesterday. I think for the first time in the series, for consecutive days now, I'm seeing the shades of 2011. I'm not going to deny that.
For all the abuse that I got yesterday, which I shared some of it, only the ones that I could share with no profanities, I was thinking that only, that maybe those people who thought I was jumping the gun, and maybe they were right also, maybe I was jumping the gun or whatever. I think now they will realize, because in terms of the total amount of runs that England got, what are the records that they piled up in terms of runs? It's some highest run, 669, something like that.
At a venue and all that,
so many records. So firstly that, the pain of 669, then the pain of seeing this happen. And now you will have to endure. I mean, I think it's safe to say, Gulati stuck his neck out and said that we will have a tea time show, and post-match show will follow that later. But I will also stick my neck out and say one thing. I do not see anything other than an innings defeat now. Is that fair to say? Or
+1. Yeah, +1.
No draw happening.
No, absolutely not. For it,
no
for
chance
it to happen, it has to pour, like literally now from the second session until the final session.
There's no rain predicted.
Yeah, there's no rain predicted. Just a passing shower tomorrow. But I think
tomorrow I don't know. But today though, at least there's no rain.
Today
First you have to go past today, na?
Yeah, it's going to remain cloudy for in patches, but no rain.
So that is, I think, now pretty much done, that it'll be an innings defeat. So there's no scope of India going past this and of course losing, but at least giving 40-50 run target which England chased down. No scope of that.
I don't see that happening. I'm actually looking at a innings defeat.
Okay, then I have an even more important question for you. So one, you have confirmed tea time show will happen. The other, I'm saying the post-match show, will it be today or it will be tomorrow?
It's going to be today. I can stick my neck out and say this thing. I'm literally I'm not going to bet anything here, but I think it's
so you are saying that India cannot bat 2 sessions, 8 wickets in hand, 2 sessions to bat, whereas you just have had one team just now bat about 5 odd session. Those conditions haven't changed much. Overcast sun was happening there. It will happen here. So the opposition has batted 5 odd sessions.
And it's not really down to the quality of this Indian batting. See, even if they suffer an innings defeat, in this particular match. I'm not really going to say you leave out Yashasvi Jaiswal, drop Sai Sudarshan, bring in all those changes. It's not really going to happen. The only reason why I feel that it's going to be an innings defeat, I think it can basically be read from their body language. You can really make out as to how they went about their work in the fielding. There was no inspiration whatsoever. I was actually talking about this particular thing also when England, when they were all out for 669, I was talking about this thing that I think there was nothing in it from the fielders also, that they were probably, just going to the bowlers and telling them, okay, it's going to come, just keep bowling, keep bowling. There was no inspiration, no field changes, no innovation whatsoever. Gill getting his tactics strong, something that we discussed at length yesterday. I think it's turned out to be very bad for India. It's hurt India, and it's hurt India in a way that the two dismissals that you have had of Jaiswal and Sai Sudarshan, it's not really down to some, great bowling by England or unbelievable spell by Chris Woakes. I think it's just down to the fact that mentally you are beaten. That's the point.
See, I mean, I go back to that point that, if India are to lose today, if it is indeed curtains for India today, then I think it'll be a damning indictment of this team. And why do I say that? Because we've just had an opposition team bat almost 6 sessions. And if you cannot bat 2 sessions, if they bat 5 sessions and they save the match anyway. But if you were to just bat 2 sessions today to bring some respectability, if my colleague here does not even have faith in India being able to bat 2 sessions with 8 wickets left, I don't think it augurs well for this batting lineup. I think that is where Indian team has come, and many might say that, oh my God, that 4, 5, 6 days ago we were saying that it's a series which is 50-50,
wide
open, 50-50, close contest. Sometimes the other team is good, sometimes we are good, whatever. What has happened in this last 4 days, that the difference between the two teams has become so stark. I mean, I'm not even going to get to the 5th test match because I fear the worst. From here on, I think for India to really come together for the 5th test match will be tough, and 5 test match series away from home are never easy. But where India are at the moment, what kind of scars are you going to be carrying for this young team?
I think, see, there has been a lot said about one thing that, this is a team in transition. And this is something that I was really against also, this particular thought. That we are saying that, you don't have the likes of Rohit Sharma, there is no Virat Kohli. Let's just, I think, go back to, let's just maybe look at the players like Jaiswal, Rishabh Pant, Gill, Ravindra Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj. They have been in and around this team or been a part of this team for about, on an average, I think if I have to take a look at the number of test matches that all of them have played, at least 3 years maybe, if I have to say. So overall, the shortage of experience wasn't really there. Yes, I can understand that, for some, it is their first full-fledged tour of England. But the way that they have gone about their work in this test, we have been using this word, since yesterday, it is completely toothless. I think it was Sanjay Manjrekar who made this comment the other day that England have been benefited by the conditions getting better. The sun was out, and that's why, the batting got easy. No. I am not really going to, go into that. With all due respect to Mr. Manjrekar, I don't, agree with this opinion. India still had a lot of quality in their bowling in comparison to England, and still, they could have gotten them out for far more cheaper. But that wasn't the case.
There were moments where England also batted under overcast conditions. There have been moments where this day started with overcast conditions for England, and you were against a tail. When the day started, there was rain in the morning in Manchester. Of course, sun came out about 40-45 minutes later, but in those 40-45 minutes with overcast condition, if that made so much of a difference, I agree that the ball was kind of old, but you should have done the job. Now, there have been phases where India have also had an old ball. Sometimes the sun has come out. So I don't know. I don't buy this. I think it, at the end of the day, evens out. and there is always a slight difference. Some team gets overcast, some will get some bright conditions, and there's a marginal difference. I don't think you can really put it down to that because the conditions have varied for both teams. What I think this is, and see, sometimes you need to have a loss to fix a few things, and I'm trying to look at the brighter side. There are a few things in this team or in the mindset that this setup had been showing you from BGT onwards, and we kept speaking about it, but the mindset was not changing, and you were getting some good results here and there. By and large, the results weren't great, but some good results here and there, which was kind of reinforcing their faith in that mindset. One about we've said, and I think we've spoken about it a lot, about not having specialists but all-rounders, and I don't even think some of them are genuine all-rounders. Let's be honest with that. It's not like Ben Stokes, right? If you had a Ben Stokes sort of an all-rounder, I could still buy. I don't think even that is the luxury you have. Either they are batters or they are bowlers, and neither of the skill is so good that they'll win you matches. I mean, let's be honest, that's one thing. But I think the other thing, which we haven't spoken a lot about, which I think needs to be highlighted, is this fascination that we have of picking people on reputation and word say, and when you get to hear, oh, this one is very good, this one is very good, and picking players based on what we see in the IPL and all of that. And two case in point here, again, there are two young players who probably will go and have a good future. I don't want to, completely rule them out in doing that, and I don't want to write them off. I'm not saying that, but I think the time wasn't right to have given them that opportunity and this sort of narrative to go along with them that they will, turn things around. And the two players are Anshul Kamboj and Sai Sudarshan. I agree. Anshul Kamboj was good in the IPL. He had that 10-wicket haul in domestic cricket. But my point is, how much of it did we see? How many air tours did he do where he kept doing fantastically well? Yes, he played one game, but I think he had played two games out of which there were three other innings which he didn't have great results. One of them was good.
A total of 4 wickets in the second unofficial game, India and England Lions.
That's what I'm saying. So you have to, I'm saying before you bring a player in, you have to see enough of him. You just because unless you're sometime you can do it if you're a tearaway quick, a Mayank Yadav type. I mean, I know he keeps getting injured. Tearaway quick, some from the outside. But by the way, even that has realized that sometime even with the tearaway quick you go wrong, like it has happened with Mayank Yadav. You got so excited, like it happened with Umran Malik. So many of them tear away, get excited. So it is happening a lot. You see them 1 or 2 IPL matches and you get excited. And again, Anshul Kamboj, you saw a little bit of him. And now suddenly he gets better than Mukesh Kumar, who had played and who you discarded after one match, or Prasidh Krishna, who had done well for you. One match is expensive, you discard him. Whatever you're planning, or Mohammad Shami you think is now over the hill, you don't bring him. Because suddenly you say, oh, we don't have to go to these guys. The new crop is there. This is Anshul Kamboj. This people are talking. Social media, one that 10-wicket haul went viral. Everyone is circulating. What this does is it just builds this personality. This builds this hype, and then everyone buys into that hype. And this is what was happening before this match. As I was saying, and now I'm not saying in hindsight. You remember when we were making the team, and I still picked Prasidh Krishna, and they were colleagues of ours who picked Anshul Kamboj. And I said, how Anshul Kamboj? No, he can do this, he can swing, he can do that. But how much had we seen of him do that? Why I went with Prasidh? Because look at England. I've just given an example. Look at England. Vokes is the one who's picked up 2 wickets. If it had been Indian team, Vokes probably after the first 2 test matches would have been dropped. Vokes did not have the best of the test matches to begin with. People were saying he's a shadow of himself, nothing doing, how can you play? Later goes on to pick 3 wickets in 1 innings in Lords, and now he's picking up more wickets. Why? Because you said no. Once you believe in a player, you've got him, you have to give him an extended run. You have to go with him. That is what you do. In India, everything is hype. We have heard one player, blah, 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 he's the greatest, he can do this, he can do that. So now Anshul Kamboj will come. Ditto for Sai Sudarshan. Sai Sudarshan, maybe a talent, maybe he'll do very well, maybe he'll go on to, serve well in the Indian team. But how much of the Sai Sudarshan we had seen? How many gritty knocks did he play in first class cricket in red ball? I'm not talking about, did he do averages 39? People who are averaging 15 first class cricket are not being picked to participate in the team. How is it that suddenly you have now decided that Sai Sudarshan? Why have you decided? Because you saw him in the IPL, and in the IPL he was just too good, he was outstanding. So suddenly he comes in. Anyone who has been grinding it out in first class cricket, that Abhimanyu Ishwaran has been traveling with the team 50 first class average, but no, I will not go to him because he does not play the IPL. He has not shown us any sort of a outstanding performance in the IPL. No, I will not go to Sarfraz because he does not play the IPL. We don't see him regularly. He's not won you matches, so we will go. And this mentality also, one about bits and pieces player, and the other about getting swayed with names based on white ball cricket or social media chatter in few games. One season, outstanding domestic season, you bring them in. I'm sorry, it will not done. You have to look at people who are grinding it out for years, who are performing at that level consistently. You have to back them. And I'm sorry, but this management as such, and I'm going to put all of them together, have not done that.
Well, we have Siddharth joining us, for the first time here in the lunch session, and I'm not sure how much time you got to witness the last part of England's innings and India being reduced to 1 for 2, but your thoughts?
I had said with utmost confidence yesterday that if India can survive this day, it will be a miracle.
So Nikhil basically asked me a question at the beginning of the discussion. So what do you think, the second session, would there be a tea session or a tea show that we'll do, or it's going to be post-match?
Of course. We will be doing that. Your ultimate positivity will be if you do the first session tomorrow, because that's the max I'm looking at it. Max first session if you put up a fight. But with 311, you're already way down you're staring at the abyss. Your best batter, if you want to look at it, who can give you that aggression, he's gone. Sai Sudarshan is gone. You're basically 3 down. Pant, we don't know if he'll bat. So, how will people spin a positive thing out of this? I just don't know. Okay? It's bedlam. Whatever way you look at it, Indian cricket is undergoing bedlam at this point in time. And there was a reason why I said that it'll be a miracle if you can get through day 4. Because the body language, as I said, body is in Manchester, soul's gone in Lords. They are just there playing like machines. Okay, we have to bowl. Oh, we have to keep a fielder there. Okay, let's keep a fielder there.
Why are they like machines? Like why? Like you're playing a test match for your country. You were pumped up. One test match ago, you were going 11v2. You were fighting it out, and as I said, that was good. That's good raw emotions coming out. That means you really care for a test series. You gave a good fight in Lords. You lost a close test match. But whether you won or lost, at least till the end, there was like you're saying, there was never a sign in the 3 test matches that we've seen that people are going through motions of machine. They were real emotional cricketers that were giving their best. Whether some of them were succeeding, some of them were failing is another thing, which is part and parcel of the sport. But at least you could not question them in terms of just going through the motions. There was a lot of effort, energy, emotion there. So what has changed in this test match?
What has not changed in Indian cricket? Your inability to maintain momentum for a 5-test series away. Have we won 5-test series?
We've not reached 5th test. No, we are on the 4th test match. You played 4 test matches in BGT, and I agree that you lost BGT 3-1, but there was no lack of intensity. Even till the final test match, you lost to Jasprit Bumrah, but who knows, you were alive, you were giving yourself a chance, you were coming back into the test. So 4 test matches you've gone, you've won a 4 test series before that. So you played 4 test matches series now at home as well, against Australia, against England. I don't see the intensity drop. What has happened this time?
Because see, look at 2014. Same situation. First 3 tests, they were really gung-ho. 2 tests, I would say. Next 3 tests, what happened? It just left them. Meek surrender. Look at what happened, say, if you look at it in the BGTs of the past, 4 test series, what happened there? Simple, meek surrender. One facet of theirs always dips when they go away. One facet. And more or less it's the batting that dips. But here Gill has got a double whammy. Unlike BGT, at least your bowlers kept you in the game. Here the bowlers aren't even keeping you in the game. And here you have already got 4 centurions. Let's make no mistake about India. Start the 4th innings with 4 centurions already. Siraj got more than 100. Jadeja got more than 100. Bumrah for the first time in his career got more than 100. For the first time. how do you expect teams to win consistently a 5-test series? You check how many 5-test series has India won. The list is very minimal.
Oh, but that's also because India rarely played 5 test match series. So
Until the 80s you played. From the 50s
Yeah.
till the 80s, then there came a lull.
50s to the 80s, you really were not
Yeah.
the top side in the world. So for you, winning 5 test matches series was anyway going to be very tough. Winning a series used to be massive. So I don't know whether it's a fair representation, whether, 5. I mean, it could be. Maybe the intensity does drop. I don't know whether it is sometime touring. And again, maybe 5 test series. It's not that it happens in India, but if it was to be at home, maybe it's slightly different because familiar conditions, you're still traveling, is different compared to alien conditions, foreign conditions. When you travel, you're away from home and all of that. Weather, maybe that's something that you're not used to. Conditions, maybe it does take a toll, but then that's the job of a professional sports person, right? I mean, you move to tougher conditions. I mean, you're a South American football player who's only played in warm, tropical temperature, but they move to Europe in really tough, rainy, cold conditions. But it's their job to adjust to those sort of situation and put their best performance. And I'm guessing that's what you want from the Indian team. But the issue is that I don't know whether motivation, I'll still not question the motivation or energy or anything. But I think there are a lot of technical issues on that front. The one man, once again, I said it earlier, and didn't go down with a lot of people when we were comparing which is a better lineup, and this debate came. I think Rajdeep was here. We were debating Duckett and Jaiswal, and I said I'll pick Duckett, and he said, "Are you mad?" And this is at the end of the second Test match, where Jaiswal's looking so good. He's had an amazing series here, and I said, "No, Jaiswal may be a better white ball batter than Duckett any day. Jaiswal may be a better Test batter than Duckett on flat, good batting conditions. But as soon as you get slightly English conditions or alien conditions, I would pick Duckett any day ahead of a Jaiswal, because in those conditions, they won't do it." There was a big question mark over Jaiswal in seaming conditions. But the thing is, that's what I'm saying, once somebody will have a good IPL or a good white ball stint or some good test matches in very different conditions, and then as soon as they're on a high, you say anything critical of them, people will pounce at you. But you have to put things into perspective, no? Different conditions, different ball, where you're playing, what you're doing. And I'm sorry, but this is a repeated thing with Jaiswal. I'd love to know the numbers. If we would take out numbers of Jaiswal in flatter conditions, his test match record, outstanding. You take out in certain test matches in Australia where the ball was doing a bit, test matches in South Africa where the ball was doing a bit, test matches in England where the ball was doing a bit, not the Leeds and the Edgbastons, and take out the average. I'm sure it's not going to be more than 30.
And it's same is the case with Gill also. I think let's go back to the two test series against South Africa, which you drew 1-1. I think he failed at his number 3 position. You came back to India, then he got that name second innings Gill. When he batted at number 3, got those hundreds. Now in the testing Australian conditions, he could not score. He missed the first test due to an injury, the Perth test. He was dropped for the Boxing Day test when Rohit, came back to open. And you talk about all those testing conditions, Gill hasn't really scored any utility knock. I think the last maybe I can talk about Gill getting something or a utility score in maybe slightly testing conditions. Gabba 2021.
That's it.
91. And you're talking like almost 4 years back now, more than 4 years back.
The list ends right and right, and it's a combination of all three. Look.
Nothing in the WTC final also, 2021, 2023? Nothing at all?
Nothing. See, it's a combination of all three factors that has always plagued India from time immemorial. 3 factors. 1, technical adjustments. Same, English-like conditions, wobble seam, everybody struggles. 8 is the second part, mental issues. You can't maintain your stability because your basic team composition is unstable.
No, what do you mean by mental issues? Like, I don't understand.
No intensity. Your intensity goes away. One facet just goes away like that. You can't chase small totals. You crumble under pressure. You look at even 2018. That time you didn't have any technical issue. All your batters were there.
You needed about 190 odd in the first test, and at Southampton
245.
245, yeah.
You still lost that. Third, How can you expect some strong fight back when the basic core of your team is unstable? How many players have been chopped and changed? How many? And going with this piecemeal approach, how can you expect that we will put up a fight? How?
Forget about overall in Test match cricket. Just take a look at in this particular series only. How many changes you continue to make? And compare it to England, hardly.
England have only had one forced change. That's it.
No, one Archer came in.
Yeah, Archer came in
For tongue.
And then
Shoaib Bashir out. Liam Dawson.
For
Injury,
Dawson, forced, huh?
that's forced injury. If there was no injury, Bashir would have been playing. No matter how much we guys went on about Bashir, how mediocre it is, but the English management said no. We have faith in him. He's going to play. Say whatever you want from the outside. We are backing him.
And had he not been injured, he would have played this test.
Exactly. And that's where you're reminded of what Shardul Thakur said. He said it's very difficult to do anything when you don't know how many overs you'll be given. He was asked, no, that can you do? He said it's very tough to execute any plan when I don't know. So I start bowling. I don't know whether now after 2 overs I'll be called off, no, or 3 overs I'll be called off, or will I get an extended spell of 6? I have no idea. There's no clarity. Forget that of what you're doing in the match. He also has no clarity which test match he'll play or which test match he will not play. Same with the Prasidh Krishna. What must he be thinking? What do I have to do? I'm saying if Prasidh Krishna and Shardul Thakur were English and they started that first test match with England, they would have been playing even now. And somewhere down the line, they would have had bad games, but good games. But once you got them in the team, you would have given them an extended run. I gave an example of Vokes, perfect example.
2 wickets.
Yeah.
He summed it up.
But you started, I'm just saying, and if Vokes was conversely in the Indian team, after first 2 tests, he was dropped.
He was dropped.
There's no chance he would have been playing.
You see, now look, it's about time whatever we swept under the carpet in these last 9 years to get it out and put it in the open. Virat Kohli, Ravi Shastri era, brilliant era, right? But I've always pointed out there was a dark underbelly called
Chasing.
horses for courses. Continuous changes. There was never a stable 11. And when that era ended, you got a Rohit Sharma era in which your pitches went turtle at home. So I'm sorry, that was the era in which you had no confidence, you wanted to lay out traps, your technique got dissected. Gill is inheriting both those eras combined. His batters are absolutely shredded on their technique. Mentally also they are done. You don't know what is your place going to be. Will I play the next test? Will I play the second test? That's the horses for courses era. We were only just on adrenaline saying maybe India can put up a fight of a 2-2 or a 3-2. But the writing was on the wall. Many people didn't give India a chance. A 3-1 was a very generous thing, but it looks like a 4-1 now. 2 wickets, 14 minutes of bedlam. That's it. Your intensity ended because you had no plan B at Lords. Turning point of this series, that 1 over. You got distracted by that. And you keep on hanging into that and you don't focus on the game. Simple. England lost the Ashes in 2023 because of their so-called moral smokescreen. But they didn't play cricket then. They were playing morality. Here, you gave up. I don't have a plan B. Oh, now I have to just show my wannabe aggressive behavior. What happened? Your buck didn't back your might. And this had to happen.
That was a different test match. I'm not saying that.
But it was a pivotal test match.
Yeah, it was a pivotal test match. It was a pivotal moment in that particular test match, maybe in the series also. But if you're telling me that, just because of the aggression that Gill showed, it riled England up and, from there on, the tables completely turned.
I am not saying this. Ask any of the England players in the PC. They fed on that.
That's okay.
And they've converted into motivation.
And that's nice. They've channelized it.
But that is there, this thing.
Yeah.
You as an opposition, I would imagine whichever opposition I'm playing, they're charged only. If they were not charged, it's their fault.
Yeah.
Now the moment charge them, it's their fault. I have to do what I have to do. But I can't allow my performance to go down. No basis that.
That's how this Indian team is intertwined on all of that.
I don't know whether the performance is down because of that.
The only way I am seeing it is you fought in the first 3 test matches. You lost a couple, but you won 1. Now in Manchester, it's a meek surrender. But it's not just a one-off make surrender. You've seen a lot in the last 14 years or so, and it's turning out to be the same way. 2011 was the same case, 2014 was the same case, 2018 you tried to hide it under the carpet that it is 4-1, but India fought and all those things happened. 2022 at least it was a 2-2 draw, and now 2025 once again, if you lose this test by an innings defeat, which it does look like that it's going to happen, I don't think India is going to make a comeback in the fifth test. I think you're probably staring at 4-1 then.
England have done what they had to do. Now they'll just come to the Oval, pick the bones and be satisfied. That's it.
Okay, let's quickly take a few questions before the post-lunch session starts. Jaya
Krishnan AC is like saying, you can't just say mentally out. They are highly paid professionals, world's richest board waiting for transition, accountability at stake.
That's the thing now, world's richest board. World's richest board is now planning Asia Cup also.
Let us not even begin there.
Money.
Not even planning, it's done now.
That's what I'm saying. Planning as in how to organize. Dates are out now, is the planning will start now.
Yeah.
Which team will stay, what that planning they will.
Financially,
They are not bothered about what is happening here.
And the two teams that were initially, we all thought that they might not face off after what had happened in May earlier this year. They're probably going to face off thrice in the Asia Cup.
Yes, if you
one is going to be
final.
one is going to be group stage, and if both teams qualify for the Super 4, it's going to be in Super 4, and a possible summit clash.
As I said,
Done. Diwali will come early.
Yeah.
And forget about it.
Diwali is early,
In
by
a
the way.
span of
No, it'll come earlier in September.
in a span of 20
you don't
days,
have to wait
three-
to October
three
also
clashes.
for
Yeah.
that.
See, financially, you are the richest. Pocket-wise, you are the richest. But as far as ethics goes, as far as dunyadari is going, I have never seen a more bankrupt entity than not the BCCI, the government of India.
No, but has the government given permission? We don't know, no? I'm saying
If the dates are out, they have.
No. Dates are announced by Asia Cricket Council. See, I don't know what the deal is at the moment. We can't say with certainty. So right now, days are announced, and BCCI, of course, have given their go ahead, and Asian Cricket Council have gone ahead and announced on that. I have a feeling that the government, after what has happened in Pahalgam, after Operation Sindoor, at least the noises that was coming from the government, I don't think they will allow the Indian team to play the Asia Cup. See, that could be. Having said that, at least that's what I think. At least that's what I've been hearing from the government, whether Home Minister, Prime Minister, and usually the kind of noises that have been coming. I mean, you've gone on banned Pakistani YouTubes and Twitter and everything. So you've been taking those steps and you've said no talking, nothing, all that. That's what I think. So I have a feeling that they'll stick to it and they will be nothing, because BCCI can announce anything, but what if 2 weeks later government says that no, we're not allowing you, you may have to pull out. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So what if it doesn't happen?
So what you are basically saying here is that the BCCI hasn't really had a chat with the hasn't really had a conversation with the government regarding teams' possible participation in the Asia Cup.
I don't know.
That hasn't happened.
I
That's what
don't
you're
know.
saying. Okay.
It may have, may not. Why I'm saying that is because I've not heard any official statement from the government yet. If you remember last time when the Champions Trophy was happening, India had to go. Government is the one that told BCCI, and then BCCI came out and mentioned that. Right now, the BCCI has not come out and mentioned that we've got a permission or not. I don't know. Maybe they have. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Till I hear, I'm not going to. My thing is, this is my estimate. After I've heard the Prime Minister speak about it, the Home Minister, the government, forcefully, all minister forcefully said nothing to do with Pakistan, ban their channel, everything. I've heard that. So I don't think that they will do a U-turn. I feel that maybe, right now you go and say the government, and maybe a week later they say we are not allowing permission. So maybe they'll be right. I'm hoping that. Having said that, if this Asia Cup goes ahead, then obviously if let's say, on September, whatever the team, or 2 weeks before that the team is traveling, then obviously green signal has come from the government. If that has to happen, then I think this is going to be the biggest backlash this government will face. If that is indeed the case. Because at one point you can't be, expecting all of us to be patriotic and not consume Pakistan content and not engage with them or do anything, which is also fair after what had happened. And you have said things like, it is a terror state, this, that, everything. Our soldiers have fought a war, right? I mean, so you've been engaged. After all this, if you allow this, then I think, then I'm not going to
The government doesn't do a U-turn. It only puts a goal chakkar. It's not a U-turn anymore.
This time around, it's not going to be any goal chakka, and even the host
How
podcast
can-
is also now advertising it. It's
How
going to happen.
can you expect any government in this country to take a stand like what we are hoping? Pahalgam you're talking about. What's Pahalgam? In the middle of a war in 1999, we played Pakistan in a World Cup. June.
But we were told that now this is new India, it's changed. We won't be doing those things.
Those who believed that smokescreen that this is new India themselves are deluded. This isn't new India. This government doesn't propagate new India. Why? You talk about cricket. Have we done the same thing with other sports? We allowed our Davis Cup team to travel to Pakistan.
There's also a squash team that traveled a few years ago.
During Operation Sindoor, India-Pakistan played the beach volleyball event here during Sindoor. And conveniently, people will not focus on that because they were distracted with all these things. What will the populace here will say? Oh, we'll show them in cricket. What? By beating a third-rate team who don't have any cricketing pedigree whatsoever. Wow. That's your statement of
See,
intent.
my point is the debate of whether you want to mix politics and cricket is another thing. Okay. But if at one point we have, and this is what we as a country have taken a stand for, right? The government and all of us, that anything to do with Pakistan has to be a full stop, right? Like there was a Legends match that was going to happen. There was a backlash. You stopped it. And it was stopped. YouTube channels were stopped. Twitter handles were blocked. Trade has been halted. I mean, so many things that have been said that, you cannot go ahead and do. Anyone, even if he mentions, even if you're pictured, let's say a celebrity is pictured with another Pakistani celebrity anywhere, they get trolled and get abused. Fair enough, after what has happened, if that's the stance, then you have to maintain that thing. Then it has to be the same for everyone. I'm saying, even I as a journalist, I went and covered cricket there in Pakistan. I also got a lot of abuse for that. You did that. That's fair. If some people did not like it, whatever, there were reasons for that, but I was doing my job. My thing is, at the end of the day, now if this permission is given and BCCI and government both allow this to happen, then I'd like everyone to then direct their anger on the people who are supposed to be, not me as a journalist. I am not a decision maker. I can't do anything. I follow whatever it is. My job is to go cover cricket or report on thing or engage in cricket discussion, whether it is with an English player, Pakistani player, whatever. That's my job, right? That's what I do it. But you expect me to take a stand as a nobody in the larger scheme of thing. You expect retired players to take a stance. You expect people who are running those leagues to take a stance. You expect Bollywood stars to take a stance who are not even involved in geopolitics. None of us have any say. If tomorrow I want to take a decision, I can't, right? But the people who are decision makers, if they go ahead and do it, so don't expect us only to be patriotic.
Yeah.
Only expecting us to be patriotic while everything else happens the way it is. I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
People need to then get their priorities.
We will wait until, because see, your litmus test is going to start on September 5th also. India-Pakistan Women's World Cup.
See, there, I would still, fine, I agree, there's a valid school of thought that pull out of the World Cup also. World Cup is not important and there's 4 feet points. You could very well do that, right? But what happens in an ICC tournament, since it's international, you can get, there could be sanctions. So, you can take such harsh step, and this is where the failure is, that get the rest of the world to see your side, saying that I don't want to. Where all other cricketing nations, if you are the most powerful, why can't you get them on your side and then, get this thing done?
In the world of unilateralism, this just doesn't work.
But I'm saying that is still an ICC tournament where they could be sanctioned this. And this is an ACC tournament. How does it matter? I'm saying, how does it matter if you skip it also?
Yeah. Like what you did to the Asian Test Championship.
You skip it. You don't want to play. How does it matter? Let the tournament go ahead. It's okay if Indian fans don't get to see cricket. At the end of the day, the country is ahead of anything. Na? That skip the tournament. Or if you want to, if there is some financial thing or there's a calendar free, whatever, have any series, yeah. With any country, you can have a series. I mean, upcoming countries like Ireland also want to play something.
Zimbabwe.
Exactly. Zimbabwe, you hardly play them. Get a series going. They'd love to play against India, even if there's not a big money spinner, but you want the calendar. Do it now. Put the country ahead. That's what I'm saying. Now I would want people who are in the decision-making power to do that. And by the way, BCCI has to be taken to task, and BCCI cannot go ahead without government.
Of course, because now they're under the government now.
Yeah.
Because they're in
And
NSF.
also, let's not forget that the BCCI in that sense is still kind of controlled by the ruling party. Even that, like your secretary is very close to Himanta Biswa Sharma, and you know they have a association, and
Yes.
and he's come via that. So clearly he has string attached to the ruling dispensation. They should put the foot down. I mean, they have enough. But if you allow it to do it, then I'm sorry.
It doesn't look like. Jassi Singh is saying, issue started when Indian team provoked England in that last over. Gill tried to become Virat. After that day, I see different Stokes. His bowling, batting, everything changed. You got a Stokes back into form. You're getting a Vokes back into form. Well done.
Stokes is back in form now. His batting form, he has broken the rut of 100 here.
I think after 3 years, right? He scored 100.
years, yeah.
2003 he got 100.
2003.
Yeah.
Waqt ki baat hai guru. If this embarrassment means GG mends his way to play right 11 of specialists instead of 3 bits all-rounder, then I'm all for it. But he won't do it. Maybe. Yeah.
Short pitch has a comment for Gulati. Go ahead.
Please.
I think to each his own, that's it.
Say, what do I do when the team is going through
Uber covered.
this? What can I do?
No, it's absolutely fine. People are entitled to an opinion. It's okay.
But also the match changes, and what do you do?
Yeah. Dhanush, TN players, Sharath, 51 FC average, didn't play single test. Yes, Sridharan Sharath didn't play. Badrinath, 54, first class average, 2 tests, scored 50 debut, but now 38, first class average, rather playing test. Long live IPL.
I think the third one is gone, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, it's got saved. Impact
saved.
on
Impact,
umpires.
impact.
Umpires
Umpires
call
call,
impact. Ball hitting.
Yeah, saved. So
And dare I say, incoming ball, foot in the front, same thing.
calm. Yeah.
Same thing.
Sridhar Savaikar,
Very lucky.
very, very lucky.
By the way, I mean, I'm just going through that whole India-Pakistan logic. That's why I'm saying. Why I'm saying is because I was targeted a lot, for doing that. Now, you should, Wasim Akram rang the bell yesterday. Should have said, no, we're boycotting this test match. How can he ring the bell?
It's an India match, no?
Yeah, how can you get a Pakistan
The
cricketer
Pakistan
to do it?
umpire, you're begging him for, give me out. Should say, no, I'm
Ehsan
saying that
Raza,
there has to be a balance there, no? If I'm going to cover cricket there, I'm not going as ambassador of peace. I'm going to do my job.
Yeah.
And again, as I said, Wasim Akram and the Pakistani umpires are also not ambassadors of peace. They are in their capacity or whatever as a guest or thing, and Indian players are going about doing their thing.
Ehsan Raza, the umpire. Yep. Sridhar Savaikar is saying, this is what Stokes can do. You think he hasn't had any impact but just looks at his contribution? Stepped up on the last day at Lord's, picked 5 wickets in first innings here, 100 now, and the spirit with which he leads. If this is the Stokes that's going to turn up at the Ashes.
Player of the series.
One thing I
England as
know
of
that
now.
I'll give Indian team credit for, over the years, and this is my, from the time I was
Yeah.
watching cricket to now,
They get people back to form.
who is out of form, India has this habit that don't worry,
We'll get you back to
we
form.
will get you, don't you worry. And usually it happens with like top star players. They'll go through the worst time, and then one series with India, back to the way. That's a quality. That's a great
Big
quality.
quality, yeah.
That's not easy.
Not every team has.
Not every team has this quality.
Yes.
RCB don't say anything. They are IPL champion. You Lucknow super giant, not even played one final.
Yeah. Jassi Singh is like telling Nikhil, why are you surprised? What you expect from players having 35 career average? Some don't even have 40 average in domestic. Maruti, if you buy Maruti cars, you cannot get an Audi-like performance. True that, Jassi Singh. True that. I mean, what do you do about it? Yeah. Ashish Dar, VK and Ravi Shastri have destroyed Indian cricket. Horses for courses culture and pitch tampering happened in that era. Indian cricket needs stability. True. Soumya Das Gupta, coach is calling the shots here. Same kind of team selection to 3 captains, Rohit, Bumrah, Gill.
Yeah, we've discussed a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
IKN has a comment that we'll see England bat again. Let's just go down and take this one last comment. Jassi Singh is saying, Nikhil bhai, I think, yeah, we can probably leave it. Next big thing as a comment, that fact is India were never a great test team except Ganguly, Virat eras as captain. I salute them. Hats off to Shastri for BGT. Never lost home. 2-1 in England at 2021. Yeah, could have won. Had that 5th test match also happened. Crystal Days is saying
What we had
discussed,
earlier said
about
at
the
this point in
YouTubers,
time. Yeah.
And last comment here. Shobhan Sai is saying, do you think the selectors didn't really make the best of the decisions by having Anshul Kamboj just because, as said, he has an IQ of Zach plus Bhuvi, they may have seen something else? I think it's just because of the hype that you had on social media.
Yes.
Rest, I think I'm sure we'll discuss a lot about it in the next session, as and when it ends, and hopefully there's going to be a fight by India. So keep watching the match. But until then, it's on behalf of my colleagues Nikhil and Sidvi. It's Siddharth saying goodbye, and we are going to be back as and when
in the tea break.
Second session ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.